Today is Monday, 19th Safar 1445 after the Hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 4th September 2023. I am Salamatun Aliman with the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today received briefing from service chiefs on their ongoing operations ahead of his proposed trip to India to attend the G20 summit. The second regular routine National Security Council meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja was attended by Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, and Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. News Agency of Nigeria gathered that the meeting on general security situation in the country, including reviews of areas where the service chiefs need to double down, was held behind closed doors. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reassured Nigerians of his determination not to fail the country in carrying out a permanent transformation of the nation's economy to an enduring prosperity. Tinubu said this while receiving members of Tinubu Support Organization on a solidarity visit to the presidential villa, Abuja. This is contained in a statement signed by the national spokesperson Tinubu Support Organization, Chief Frank Ebere Njoku, given to newsmen in Abuja today. The president, who thanked the organization for standing on his mandate, said that Nigeria was on the path of recovery. Tinubu expressed confidence in the capacity of his cabinet members to rescue the country from the present economic quagmire. Mr. Tinubu, however, promised to run an all-inclusive government where everyone will be given the opportunity to serve, especially those that worked for him. In another development, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal will deliver a judgment on the petitions challenging the victory of President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday, September 6, 2023. News Agency of Nigeria report that Tinubu's victory is being challenged by candidates of the People Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party Peter Obi at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. In a statement issued today, the Chief Registrar of the Court of Appeal, Omar Bangari, said that everything has been put in place to ensure a hitch-free delivery of the judgment. The court added that interested television stations will be allowed to transmit judgments live. The president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Yakubu Mekyo, said President Bola Tinubu remains the legitimate president of Nigeria unless the court rules otherwise. NAN reports that Tinubu's victory is being challenged by candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. But speaking during the presentation of the communique of the 63rd Annual NBA Conference in Abuja yesterday, Mr. Mekiao noted that irrespective of pending petitions at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Mr. Tinubu remains the president. He therefore called for respect for the government and its policies and programs. He noted that the position is predicated on the provisions of the Constitution and the relevant extant laws promulgated by the National Assembly, while defending the invitation extended to the President to declare open the just concluded NBA conference. Mr. Mekiao reiterated his position, warning against disrespecting the office. The federal government has appealed to the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) to suspend its proposed two-day nationwide warning strike over economic hardship. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, made the call at a news conference today in Abuja. The News Agency of Nigeria, it should be recalled that the News Agency of Nigeria The News Agency of Nigeria said that the NLC, in a communique issued at the end of its National Executive Council, NLC, said it will commence a two-day nationwide warning strike from September 5th to 6th, 2023. The NLC also threatened to embark on indefinite nationwide strike within 14 working days or 21 days from when the communique was issued unless the federal government addressed the excruciating suffering of Nigerians. Mr. Lalong said that the appeal had become necessary in order to ensure a robust line of communication with Nigerians, and in particular the organized labor, to forestall a breakdown of industrial peace. He noted that the planned industrial action will no doubt reverse some of the gains already made by the administration. Former Secretary to Jigawa State Government Muhammad Inuwa Tahir claimed that massive retirement and employment embargo has paralyzed the state civil service. He said these while presenting a paper titled Challenges of Human Resources in the Civil Service of Jigawa State, What Needs to be Done, at a one-day workshop organized by Next Jigawa. He said the state civil service has been identified to have suffered undue neglect over the years, with most of the experienced and capable officers retired, dead, or transferred their services elsewhere. Tahir said the situation led to serious challenges in terms of adequacy and skill gap across the state. He noted that the civil servant constitutes the heartbeat of an organization, a state, and to a larger extent, the nation. Tahir, however, advised the government to, as a matter of urgency, rescue the state civil service through staff evaluation, recruitment of new staff, reintroduction of special training program, training funding, mentoring and succession planning, special engagement of retired senior staff, prioritization of funding for graduate employment. The Kaduna State Governor, Senator Uba Sani, has flagged off the training of 7,000 recruits for the Kaduna Vigilance Service to complete the effort of other security agencies to tackle kidnapping, armed robbery, and other related crimes in the state. The governor added that the recruits being trained at the Police College Kaduna in the state capital were drawn from the 23 local government areas of the state. Speaking at the event, Sani said the recruits, after their intensive and vigorous training, will complement the effort of security agencies and rid the state of crimes. The governor noted that the recruitment became necessary because of the shortfall of regular security agencies in the battle to tackle security challenges across the state. The news is coming to you from the studios of Saba Radio. More news after the short break. Stay tuned.
This is News on the Hour, Swaba Radio FM. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're listening to the services of Saba Radio 104.9 Hadija. Former Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, said former President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration treated the economy without recourse to experts' advice. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, who stated this in a video message to Nigerians, said psychopaths exploited the system, adding that an inexperienced boy owned a jet under the past administration. He said borrowing had crippled Nigeria's economy, urging the citizens to be patient with the current administration led by President Bola Tinubu. Sanusi stated that some people wrote to him demanding that he speak on the current situation in the country. He, however, said this is not the right time for him to speak on the difficulties Nigerians are experiencing. The Kano state government has commenced the distribution of food items to the vulnerable and the less privileged people across the 44 local government areas of the state. Governor Abba Yusufu disclosed this during the flag-off of the Agricultural Intervention Program in Kano, said the gesture was aimed at cushioning the effects of fuel subsidy removal. Governor Yusuf explained that the state government will distribute 297,000 10 kg bags of rice for free to the needy. Noted that 1,060 people will benefit from the gesture, as other food items like millets, corn, among other things will also be distributed to the vulnerable group. The governor maintained that the government had made a befitting plan through the establishment of various committees to ensure adequate distribution of the food items. He warned that any government official found wanting in the process of the distribution of the food items will be dealt with accordingly. Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has flagged off the 2023 tree planting campaign with 1.2 million trees expected to be planted across the state. The exercise conducted at the premises of the Borno State University Teaching Hospital on Monday aims at curbing desertification and other environmental problems. Zulum, while delivering his address, advocated the use of gas cookers and wood-efficient stoves as against the mass use of firewood from falling of trees. Meanwhile, Governor Zulum has announced that Borno State government will ambitiously target the planting of 10 million trees in 2024. The governor explained that of the 10 million trees, each of the 27 local governments will raise 200,000 trees to make up 5.4 million trees, while the state government will raise about 5 million trees. Governor Zulum, during the event, directed the State Ministry of Environment to dump its traditional tree planting campaign by innovating a more result-based model. He also asked the ministry to come up with a working calendar that should be strictly adhered to. The governor charged them to ensure seedlings were raised early by the ministry and the 27 local government areas so that tree planting can commence early in 2024. Now to international scene. Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa, who was sworn in earlier after winning a disputed poll, has accused outsiders of trying to sponsor mayhem during the elections. He took the oath in front of the Chief Justice and to cheers from thousands of supporters. The main opposition Citizen Coalition for Change boycotted the ceremony. It has called for fresh elections, describing President Mnangagwa's win as a gigantic fraud. But the presence of South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa was an endorsement despite regional criticism of the poll. Mr. Mnangagwa's pledge to transform the living standards of the poor and to uphold the constitution. His greatest challenge will be to unite a divided country. The authorities in Niger have announced the reopening of the country's airspace for civil and commercial flights. The military junta in Niamey closed access to the skies over the country on 6 August, citing a threat of military invasion from neighboring countries. This came after the leader of the regional bloc, ECOWAS, said they might use force following the 26 July coup, which ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. The decision to open the airspace between, however, does not apply to military flights and other special flights which are subject to authorization from the competent authority. However, flight to the country may still be restricted due to the economic sanction imposed by ECOWAS. The leader of Gabon's military junta has vowed to return power to civilians after free and transparent elections. However, in a speech after being sworn in as interim president, he did not give a date for military rule to end. Jean-Brice Guema led last Wednesday's coup against Ali Bongo, toppling the president shortly after he was named winner of a disputed election. Crowds of cheering civilians turned up at the inauguration. The coup was welcomed by many eager for change. Pardon. However, some say Guema's rule will be a constitution of the 55-year Bongo dynasty. Ali Bongo's father, Umar, was in power for 41 years before he died in 2009 and was succeeded by his son. The general, aged 48, spent most his career in the Bongo's inner circle and is even thought to be Ali Bongo's cousin. That has been the news. Before I go, a recap of the major stories. From the news world ahead, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised not to fail Nigerians. Presidential Election Tribunal set to deliver a judgment. Gabon coup leader Brice Guema vows free elections after inauguration. That has been the news on behalf of the news department. Our editor, Mohammed Suleiman Yobi, our content announcer, Salma Adam Iko. I am Salam Tanud Aliman saying good night.